G'day guys, we're not getting any younger watching this video, so let's not waste any time and get straight into the review of the movie Old. My name is Caleb, otherwise known as the Critic Kebab, and the beginning of this review will contain no spoilers. However, after I've given my final verdict, I will discuss some of the spoilery story moments that did stand out to me. And this being an M. Night Shyamalan movie, you come into it expecting some plot twists. M. Night Shyamalan has made some really good movies and some not so good ones, but he has established himself as a prolific filmmaker that is able to draw an audience. His latest film is about a group of people who get stuck on a secluded beach whilst on a tropical holiday. But something supernatural and spooky is happening on the beach, which results in everyone aging at an accelerated rate, reducing their lives into a single day. Now, let's start by discussing the positives in this film. Once the families do arrive on the beach, the film does a great job of providing an impending sense of doom. The tension and pacing accelerates to match the aging of the characters, and there are many sequences that are stomach-churning. This film's whole concept revolves around its characters aging rapidly, so you would expect that the filmmaking techniques utilized are used properly here, and I'm happy to report they are. The hair and makeup team did a great job of subtly aging the characters. You notice it with the wrinkles of the hair color. Now, I'm sure some visual effects were also used to help, but I must say that this element of the film was quite effective. Now, let's transition into some of the mixed elements of the film. The things that didn't necessarily work, but also weren't bad either. The cinematography was at many stages beautiful. However, there are some moments during the tense and unnerving scenes that are meant to be disorientating, but they actually come across as jarring, and these moments took me out of the movie. An example I would like to compare to is the Damien Chazelle film First Man, about Neil Armstrong and his journey to the moon. There are sequences in that film where the camera shakes violently in order to convey the feeling of being inside a nauseating rocket ship. These moments create an uneasy and sickening feeling. And in this movie, Old, there are moments when the camera turns or spins or makes some sort of stylistic movement, and it just doesn't convey the same feeling that matches what's going on with the characters in the scene. When watching a movie, it is important not to lose that sense of immersion, and I lost it several times watching Old. The acting was also pretty mixed. There are no standout performances, good or bad, but overall, I feel the cast did a satisfactory job with the material they are given, and the dialogue they are given was sometimes pretty bad. There are a few issues with this film, starting with the dialogue. There are scenes that are required to communicate important information to the audience, such as why this is all happening and how do we escape all this. But they often just came across as awkward. What doesn't help this film is that all the characters are underdeveloped. The screenplay is very basic and does a lazy job of setting up its main characters and introducing its side characters. There's a moment where a couple just stumble onto the beach and become part of the group, and it just felt very rushed, their prominent involvement in the group dynamic. Now, what I would consider the biggest flaw of this film is the relationship between the brother Trent and his older sister Maddox. They are the glue that holds this story together, and they have many integral scenes. I would say that they are the emotional focal point of the film, and yet this film evokes no emotional engagement. From start to finish, I didn't feel connected to this family in any meaningful way. And I feel that if this bond, especially between brother and sister, was stronger, then the emotional roller coaster would have been way more profound. The last thing I want to address is that towards the end of this film, there is an interesting revelation that raises a compelling moral dilemma. I found great interest in this revelation, and I feel many moviegoers will debate this topic in great detail. But that is all I can say in the spoiler-free part of the review. Before I give my verdict on Old, I ask that if you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed to the Critic Kebab channel for more movie reviews, as well as Caleb's Conversation podcast, where we discuss the film industry, movies, and more. Overall, Old has some things that really work in its favour, such as the imminent stakes, but its underdeveloped characters make this movie-going experience feel a bit hollow. And to me, this is just an okay movie. A great concept for a thriller movie, but it fails to hit the home run. Those are my spoiler-free thoughts on Old. If you have seen this movie, stick around, as I'm going to move into my spoiler chat where I discuss the spoiler moments that I want to talk about. This is your spoiler warning. Let's address the main plot twist of this movie, the one that takes place at the end, the revelation that this group of people, and many groups before them, are being experimented on by this secret organization in order to create and improve medicine that helps heal and fix the human population's problems. I really liked this revelation, and I think it makes sense that something like this would happen. Obviously, the supernatural element that this beach is able to conjure this ability makes no sense. But I believe that if this power was discovered, this definitely would happen. The ending does feel very exposition heavy, of course, but the organization getting their comeuppance was the right story decision. I just wish that it was more emotionally fulfilling, especially because it was Trent and Maddox who survived it all. There is an attempt to try and explain how this beach has this ability. I would have preferred it to be unexplained and to be treated like a scary freak of nature. Trying to explain it away made it way less intimidating. The last thing I want to discuss is I found everything all the characters go through on the beach, such as the pregnancy, the schizophrenia, the blind, and deafness, all made sense, and I feel the drama that surrounded all these human problems was effective, especially within the thriller genre. Those are all my thoughts on M. Night Shyamalan's Old. It's a decent movie with a great concept. I just wish it was more emotionally engaging, and that could have been easily achieved if they paid more attention and gave more development to the characters in the screenwriting phase. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and stay tuned for another video coming soon.